I've been doing a lot of thinking recently about how to approach the current impasse with radical feminists. On one side, guys like girls, and in our current society, the males chase the females. On the other side, we have a large group of angry vocal feminists telling us that they do not want to be catcalled or harassed. The law has currently been skewed in Western society in favour of the defence of females, to the point where in Nottinghamshire in the UK, men can be arrested for approaching a woman if she feels threatened. This has to stop, and I was trying to come up with a solution which does not involve a clash of the two sides. Admittedly, it feels like it's coming if nothing is done to stop it. I'd like to thank Sir Albert Holmes on YouTube for his support in making this video, as he encouraged me to flesh this idea out. So what can be done to defuse the situation? I have a solution, but it will require cooperation of everyone for it to succeed. The first point has to be conceded by the radical feminist, and that point is that men are not psychic and cannot read your mind. Except Darren Brown. Seriously, that guy's off the wall. The point being that if a guy finds you attractive and wants to approach you, he has no idea that you are a radical feminist. Admittedly, the bright coloured hair can be an indicator, but it is not definite proof. The counterpoint that has to be conceded by males is that we have to get smarter to protect ourselves. Society is currently only on track to demonize males more, and they're looking for reasons to do so. The solution I propose will hopefully make everyone happy, and it is so simple that I am surprised it has not been thought of before. Let's give the feminists exactly what they are asking for. Before either or both sides blow up, hear me out on this. Feminists are always complaining about being catcalled, verbally harassed, and even sexually objectified by guys who are just trying to find a way to show appreciation of females or to find an avenue to approach them. To change the situation, what we need to do is use a combination of male psychology and feminists taking responsibility for themselves. This is a plan with 2 points of action. Point 1. Feminists need to agree to get a specific visual aid which they would wear constantly to identify that they are the ones who do not want to be approached by males in any way, shape or form. For the sake of this thought experiment, I would recommend something like an armband of a fluorescent colour, which would also glow in the dark. The reason being that men are known to be more responsive to visual cues rather than any other cues in general. However, I think it's best that if the feminists are going to wear this item, they pick the design and logo or apparel for themselves, so that they're happy enough to wear it. Point 2. A large campaign is to be held with all straight males, where they are told that no matter what, avoid contact with any and all females who are wearing these symbols. Make it clear to the males that these females do not want any attention from males, and if they do approach them, then they are putting their own heads in a noose. They are setting themselves up for terrible repercussions if they attempt any contact. My thoughts were along the lines that if there are actual visual markers on the females who want to be avoided, then that will give men the chance to find the women who actually want and appreciate them. This may actually work to slow down the rise of the MGTOW movement, although it may be too late for that now. For this to work, ground rules have to be established. These include key rules about complete absence of contact with women wearing the indicators. Also, if the radical feminists decide they are going out to get drunk, wearing of this indicator, which they previously agreed to, will be mandatory for that night. Try to understand, I am not suggesting this plan out of some deep hatred of women. I am putting out these suggestions as there is literally no other choice available to males as feminists continue to whine to the government about being victims. Having said that, this situation, I foresee, could resolve many cases of alleged sexual assault, as the court cases which lie along the questionable border of regret sex/rape could be resolved simply by noting whether the woman was wearing her indicator or not. Do not get me wrong, I am not condoning sexual assault of any person. However, there are too many cases these days where after investigation it turns out that the sex was consensual at the time and only later was twisted into something that the so-called victim says she didn't want. I realize this plan hinges on radical feminists taking personal responsibility and the male population in general agreeing to abstain from a section of female society completely. As I said before, this is only a thought experiment, but it seems to fit what the feminists are actually asking for. I think if we cannot remove a section of society who is unhappy with general day-to-day interaction, then we should get them to remove themselves. It reflects the old saying, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. Slán.